Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, let it get all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rachah Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the head apostles, the elder, the great millstone. Salakia. And a Kazakh Shalom to the full elect. This lesson was inspired by recent Cleveland drama. Everybody named Mama talking about the T-App. And it's just another reminder how things are out of order in Babylon. And filtering that through the precepts. This is the first one I thought of, Psalms 82:5. It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. And the scriptures refers to, confusion, wickedness. Because King David said, the law be a light to our feet, as a matter of fact. It's Psalms 119 and 105. Thy word, which is the scriptures, is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So this is what we use to navigate through the valley of the shadow of death here in America, aka spiritual Babylon, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. It says they know not, again in Psalms 82:5, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course, so everything is out of order. Hence the name Babylon, which goes back to Babal, confusion. And there's nothing but pure confusion and pure madness going on. But it's lifted up. That's the standard. Like the scriptures say, folly is set in great dignity. As a matter of fact, Lord will not get that next. But this is Isaiah 5:20. It says, woe, which is death, destruction, harm, ill will. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. So if you are not being corrected with that read like unto a rod, which is the scriptures, then you're okay with Esau's agenda to destroy the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community. So woe unto you too, because the Lord sent pastors according to his heart to let you know, like, the ways that are being promoted, exonerated, whatever word you want to use, are the things contrary to the scriptures. So you're walking in that darkness. You're putting bitter for sweet. It's just Ecclesiastes 10:6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. And spiritual, we are the rich people sitting in that low place. Whenever I think about this precept, I think about, the statue with, I believe that's Theodore Roosevelt, with the Gadite and the Judite on both sides of him while he's up on the horse. Let's go into that word folly. Folly, lack of good sense or normal prudence and foresight, criminally or tragically foolish actions or conduct, evil, wickedness, a foolish act or idea, an excessively costly or unprofitable undertaking, an often extravagant, picturesque building erected to suit a fanciful taste. Folly. So the first four definitions were the most applicable. So, criminally or tragically foolish acts or conduct, a foolish act or idea, a lack of good sense or normal prudence and foresight is set in great dignity here in America. And for something to be set in great dignity, it means it's put on a pedestal. It's esteemed very highly here. And that's all so-called black entertainment is. And guess who runs that? Guess who is in control of the media? The small hats. So whether it's down to the apps and cater to your algorithm, or it's mainstream media, you're not going to get views talking about, the breakdowns. You're not going to get views talking about, the Gentiles. Only the hopeful elect care, and people who are, window shop and pretend to be on a level after regurgitating what they heard from the elders and apostles. But I digress. Laying back on up that point, that folly set in great dignity and all the foundations of the earth out of course. So on this T-App, they basically exposing men. And what stood out to me is that the women are talking as if they are men. Men can have multiple women. This is Exodus 21. This is in the law. Exodus 21:10. If you take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So as long as you're able to take care of that other wife, you good. But they on this app, speaking as if they the man. Yeah, I seen a couple of my hoes on here, or who talking to him, and they competing for that same spot, not knowing that Yahweh Shem Al Shah set it up for us to work together. But that's part of the curses. That's part of us being in this lower state, and ultimately it's folly. Because they talking all that shit about how these dudes ain't shit and this, that, and the third. And this is just more fuel to the fire, because women are attracted to people who get women. Hypergamous. King David, prime example. They was parading through the city like, yeah, Saul killed his people, but David was really murking shit. Roughly paraphrasing, putting it in today's vernacular, if you will. But these women are acting as if they're the man. And that's off. These women are about to be humbled in a major way. This is Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long will I go about, although backsliding daughter? And that backsliding daughter is us, the Israelites. But 2/3 of our people are continuing to backslide. For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. Right, so here in this society, women are put on a certain pedestal, and that shit is off. That queen of heaven worship, the fact that women are even comfortable to be on a platform and say that a grown-ass man is one of her hoes. And the fact that women as a community are working together to essentially snitch. That shit is crazy. But women are up in this society because of that relationship, that pact between, Keisha and Esau that go way, way, way back to the garden. So it is literally no new thing under the sun. This is Keisha and Brad. And the result of that relationship, the result of the spiritual wickedness. It's a lot of factors that come into play, but see, again, we filter these things through the scriptures. Now we know why a woman feels like she has the balls while she wears the pants, because here in America, feminism, that's promoted. Women think it's okay to have multiple partners and brag. Like they talking about sexual exploits, like, oh yeah, I've been with him, he cool. I've been with him, I've been with him, I've been with him. When the scriptures say you're only supposed to have one husband. The scriptures lay out what you do if that man was to die. The scriptures lay out what to do in the event of a bill of divorce. The scriptures lay out everything, but y'all not trying to hear it. And another thing too, what goes on between a man and a woman is nobody's business. This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 18. It says, there be three things which are too wonderful for me, yeah, four which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Let's read that in the NLT. It says, there are three things that amaze me. No, four. Four things that I don't understand. How an eagle glides through the sky, how a snake slithers on a rock, how a ship navigates the ocean, and how a man loves a woman. So, these things are supposed to remain between you and your particular partner. And this is what King Saul is saying with these proverbs and these maxims. You got to imagine the scriptures in the right context with a little bit of salt and flavor. He's like, man, that's just like in 2025, if Jake say, I never seen, how they say it? A turtle with speed and a bitch I need. It's the same thing. He's telling you, like, there's just certain things that are beyond his comprehension. And the last thing you mentioned is the weight of a man with a maid. Why? Because it's none of your business what goes on between you and your woman. You telling me somebody who had all those wives don't understand the way of a man with a maid? No. He understands. But he also understands what you got going on with your woman is between you and her. There's no reason that your conversations, any of the past deeds you did, whether righteous or wicked, should be on the internet. That shit is off. And newsflash, we don't want to see that shit. We don't care. Anybody who's focused don't want to see that shit. Damn, this is a good one. This wasn't what I was thinking about, though. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 8 or 18. It says, do no secret thing before a stranger, for thou knowest not what he will bring forth. Let's start at 17. Consult not with a fool, for he cannot keep counsel. And again, going back to the initial point, having a lack of discernment, knowing that us as the hopeful elect, we know we cannot trust people. We know that people are talebearers, people are, liars. We know the love of many is waxing cold, and we know people who are not operating within the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, they are dead from the neck up. So that is a fool. You don't go for advice, counsel. You don't even kick it with niggas. You got coworkers and shit you cool with, but for the most part, you with brothers, or you with your immediate family, your wife and everybody under your roof. And that's it. When it comes to counsel, you pray, you fast, you talk to brothers. Verse 18 says, do no secret thing before a stranger, for thou knowest not what he will bring forth. Open not thy heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd turn. Is that same passage in the GNT. It says, Sirach 8:17, it says, you should not ask a stupid person for advice. He will not be able to keep the secret you will tell him. Exactly. It's a bunch of ignorant people going back and forth, putting each other on blast. And they're going to still end up still having sex with each other, still spreading the same herpes, still talk about some, yeah, he lame as fuck, blah, blah, blah. But when they bored, come over. All this stuff that's supposed to be done in private, we're not supposed to know about, is being put on blast. You should not do anything in front of a stranger that should be kept secret. There is no way of knowing what will happen if you do. You should not reveal your most private thoughts to anyone. If you do, you may as well throw away any chance of happiness. Con. Because again, people who are not operating within the Holy Spirit, they don't understand how to apply these precepts. It's Sirach 22 and 22. It says, if thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be a reconciliation. Conciliatory. That means to make amends, make a friend again, or read. The prefix read again. So to make friends again. Except for upbraiding, or pride, or disclosing the secrets. Upbraid is scoff, pride is pride. Arrogancy, and in the scriptural sense is when one depart from his maker, and boom, disclosing of secrets, or a treacherous wound. For these things, every friend will depart. All that exposing shit, just bitterness. That's how we know that we're in a lower state. and that is so much hate and toxicity within the Israelite communities. And guess what? Judah's in the forefront. The southern kingdom is in the forefront. I don't see too much of this drama going on with the northern kingdom. It's always the nigger woman and Pookie and Ray Ray in the midst of some drama. There's Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 27:16. Whoso discovers secret loses his credit and shall never find friend to his mind. You're all for the sake of you loving drama. You're exposing secrets. And again, we filter things to the scripture and we balance things out to see, okay, this is what happens when you don't keep a secret. This is what happens when women feel like they have a leg to stand on. This is what happens with all the foundations of the earth out of course. And we get the spiritually nitpick. We're not nitpicking just for shits and giggles. We saying like, once you see everything through the eyes of the Lord, once you see everything through the eyes of our forefathers, you see just exactly how weak and decrepit we are as a people, as a nation, how much we need Yahweh Shah. Because it's just certain shit that shouldn't be happening, and it's happening. So love thy friend and be faithful unto him, but if thou betrayest his secrets, follow no more after him. And the reason why I'm bringing these out is because we understand what it's like to be embarrassed. We understand what it's like to be betrayed. You understand on a personal level, from person to person, one friend to another. So how much more when the internet gets involved? These people, and when I say these people, I mean these niggas, man. But these women finna be humbled in a major way. It's another good one. So we in the lowest state, Isaiah 3:12. Really can read this whole chapter. It says, as my people, children of their oppressors, and women rule over them. As children is Esau. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path. And it is clear right now how whoredom is promoted, how women and men think they're equals. A lot of this has to do with Esau. And jump down. These women are haughty and high-minded. But this is what the Lord got for them. Isaiah 3:16 says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Let's see what that word haughty means. Blatantly and disdainfully proud, having or showing an attitude of superiority and contempt for people or things perceived to be inferior. And guess what? So-called black man is on that list. Just being messy for the sake of being messy. Telling Jake Man a thing shit. Having babies and all types of rods in your mouth and all types of stuff, and still wanting to be respected. Putting on a white dress and getting married. Y'all just proud. Don't want to be humble. Don't want to submit to your man. But you're going to deal with the facts. Men are going to have more than one woman. It's coming. And it's going to come in righteousness on this side. And it's going to continue to happen in the kingdom of heaven. So for y'all to sit up here and play the fuck out of crazy, the Lord got some for y'all. As Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Though judgment has been executed. As a matter of fact, we grabbed that Salaki all over the place, but because Salaki, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in to do evil. Right, so just because you haven't been called out yet, some of the adultery, some of the whoredoms, and some of the things that you've done, you feel like you gotten away with it. And I'm not just talking to you women. It's all you jakes. The adultery, the robberies, the lies, the murders, all the things that Yahweh Shemel said not to do, that you haven't gotten away with. I mean, that you haven't got judged for. It's coming. But, you know, lessons within lessons. Salakia. Isaiah 3 and 16. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, all that attitude, neck rolling, the eyes, popping that damn gum. Inside joke. Walking and mention as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head to the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. So, a lot of women, especially in the Judite community, they getting smitten with that scab, which means they're being bald. That's why women wearing wigs. That's why alopecia is prevalent in our community. The Lord is going to really humble you and see how cute you look without that BBL. How cute you look without all the makeup, without all the bracelets, without all the Victoria's Secrets. We finna see it real soon. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their claws and their round tires like the moon. That ass. That's the thing they dangle in front of Jake. That stinking ass they shaking in the club, on the street corners, on top of cars. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. The bonnets of the Jake woman famous for that damn bonnet. And the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. The rings, the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins. The glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. So again, the hood translation, bring it back today. The Lord is going to take away your Lululemon. The Coco Chanel. The Lord is about to take away your different bracelets. All your different charms, your forever bracelets. The Lord is going to take away your weave. Shit, even your feminine products. Your outfits, your skin tight dresses, your fingernail polish, all that shit. He's gonna reduce you to nothing. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. And a lot of y'all eating them seafood boiled bags, it's already stinking. Shaking that little Krabby Patty on the internet for OnlyFans, man, get the fuck out of here. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of a well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. And burning instead of beauty. So you're going to be humbled, ladies. Thy men shall fall by the sword, thy mighty men in war. So that draft, World War III is coming. And guess what? All the Pookies and Ray Rays are going to be in that war. It's going to be a lot of people dying during that time. But the people who survive, guess what? Those are going to be the men of the Lord. The prophets. The people Yahweh Shemel Shah deemed worthy for mercy. So get it out your head that we equal you on some type of level. Just because you've been in this so-called position of power for so long. But this is Isaiah 4:1. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. We will do whatever. We just want to be recognized as your wife so they don't grab us up and grape us and kill us. Got to really put yourself in the mindset how close we are to those times. How all the men of the Lord that you disrespected will be the same man you begging. Please, please. What did you say that name was again? I promise I'll be good. I'll wear my headscarf. You don't even got to get food for me. I'll get food for my damn self. Please, please, let me be yours. Isaiah 4:1, it says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. 7 represents completion. There is no set number. But guess what? We're not going to be thinking with our small hats in that day. I brought this out. I'm a part of that number. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away your reproach. And how are you called by somebody's name? You pop that woman as a man, and now she's yours. You say that now, all the feminists going to be in an uproar. That Miss Independent spirit is going out the window. All this attitude shit going to stop, and you and the other woman are going to be best of friends. And even if y'all don't like each other, don't get along, you're going to keep your mouth shut. Times are going to be so perilous, Keisha going to be in order. Ain't that about a bitch? But it's coming. That's all I had. Lord willing, this was edifying. The water about Shemel Shah give me the spirit to do this lesson. And again, just to retouch a couple points. This exposing shit is just no folly. And it's no new thing. They had blowdown pages, all that shit back in the day. So it's just modernized. It's just with the time. And second, women are addressing this like they doing anybody a favor. They coming out like they a man, like, yeah, that's my bitch. Like, no, this shit is just backwards. Men are supposed to have more than one partner. If you can afford to, according to the law, if you can upkeep her lifestyle, her role, and diminish, then it's cool. The scripture says if she pleased to dwell with you, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, things are slowly but surely transitioning into that Isaiah 4:1. Things are slowly but surely getting closer to that true and righteous standard. But until then, we bear the indignation of the Lord and we filter things through the scriptures. Oh, one last point about telling secrets and blurting out. That takes away from your credibility. You understand on a personal level, from person to person, what it's like to have a secret exposed or to be betrayed. And the women with this blowdown page, the exposing shit, they put it on a major scale with the internet so everybody can see. So that was really the point of this lesson. The Wadi Al Bashimel Shah. Lord willing, until next time, Shalom.